Hey everyone, tonight we're diving into something truly magical. We're exploring what it would actually feel like to drift off to sleep in the world's most expensive garden, a breathtaking $2 million paradise that redefines luxury, tranquility, and the art of botanical design. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from around the world as we embark on this peaceful journey together. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's exploration of pure serenity. Picture this. You're standing at the entrance of a garden so extraordinary that its price tag reads like a telephone number. $1.97 million. Not for a house, not for a yacht, but for a single garden. A living, breathing masterpiece where every petal, every stone, every carefully placed shadow has been orchestrated with the precision of a symphony and the soul of pure artistry. Whoa. This isn't just landscaping. This is botanical poetry written in living colour across acres of perfectly manicured earth. Imagine walking through gates that open not just to a garden, but to a world where nature itself has been elevated to high art, where the simple act of falling asleep becomes an experience so luxurious, so perfectly crafted, that it transforms rest itself into something approaching the divine. Tonight, I'm going to take you on a journey through this incredible space. We'll explore every corner, every carefully planned vista, every element that justifies such an extraordinary investment. But more than that, we'll discover what it truly means to experience complete tranquility in a setting designed specifically to soothe the human soul. Because this garden isn't just about wealth or status, it's about understanding how thoughtful design, when executed flawlessly, can create spaces that fundamentally change how we feel, how we breathe, and how we rest. You might wonder what could possibly make a garden worth nearly $2 million. After all, we've all seen beautiful gardens. We've walked through parks that take our breath away, visited botanical centres that inspire awe. But what you're about to discover goes beyond anything you've experienced before. This is landscape design elevated to its absolute pinnacle, where every element serves not just aesthetic beauty, but psychological and emotional well-being. The story begins with understanding that true luxury isn't about having the most expensive materials or the rarest plants, though this garden certainly features both. True luxury lies in the seamless integration of countless elements working in perfect harmony. It's about creating an environment so thoughtfully designed that your nervous system automatically shifts into a state of profound calm the moment you enter. As you step through those first gates, you're immediately enveloped by what designers call the arrival sequence. This isn't accidental. Every sight, sound, and even scent has been carefully choreographed to begin your transformation from the stress of everyday life into a state of pure relaxation. The pathway beneath your feet isn't just beautiful flagstone. It's been selected and placed to create the perfect sound as you walk, a gentle whisper that signals to your subconscious that you're entering a sacred space. The lighting here defies everything you think you know about outdoor illumination. Forget harsh spotlights or simple string lights. This garden features a lighting system so sophisticated it rivals the finest theatres, with over 300 individually controlled fixtures that respond to the time of day, weather conditions, and even the seasons. As evening approaches and you prepare for sleep, these lights gradually shift through a spectrum designed by circadian rhythm specialists, naturally encouraging your body's production of melatonin while maintaining just enough gentle illumination to showcase the garden's nighttime beauty. But the real magic begins when you understand the plant selection. This isn't a random collection of expensive specimens. Every tree, shrub, and flowering plant has been chosen not just for visual appeal, but for its specific contribution to creating the perfect sleep environment. There's a section devoted entirely to plants that release their most soothing fragrances after sunset. Night-blooming jasmine mingles with evening primrose and moonflowers, creating a natural aromatherapy experience that commercial sleep aids can only dream of replicating. The designers worked with sleep specialists and botanists to identify plants that produce negative ions, those invisible particles that naturally purify the air and promote feelings of well-being. Ancient Japanese gardens understood this principle centuries ago, but here it's been refined to a science. The air you breathe in this garden isn't just clean, it's actively therapeutic. As you wander deeper into this botanical paradise, you discover that the garden is actually composed of 7 distinct environments, each designed to support different aspects of the perfect sleep experience. There's the meditation grove, where towering bamboo creates a natural sound barrier while producing that distinctive, gentle rustling that meditation practitioners have treasured for millennia. The water features here aren't simply decorative. They're positioned at specific intervals to create a natural white noise that masks any urban sounds while providing the psychological comfort that comes from being near flowing water. Then there's the sensory garden, where plants have been chosen specifically for their tactile qualities. Lamb's ear, with its incredibly soft leaves, ornamental grasses that whisper in the slightest breeze, and herbs like lavender and chamomile that release their calming properties when gently brushed. This section is designed for those moments when you need to ground yourself through touch, when the stress of the day requires the simple act of running your fingers through something beautiful and alive. The evening bloom section represents perhaps the most sophisticated understanding of how plants can support human circadian rhythms. Here, night-blooming cereus, 4 o'clocks, and evening-scented stocks time their flowering specifically for the hours when you'll be transitioning into sleep. As daylight fades, these plants literally come alive, filling the air with fragrances that signal to your ancient brain chemistry that it's time to rest. But what truly sets this garden apart is the sleep pavilion, a structure so thoughtfully designed it seems to float among the plantings like something from a dream. This isn't just a gazebo or garden building. It's been engineered by architects who specialize in biophilic design, the science of creating structures that connect humans to nature in psychologically beneficial ways. The pavilion uses materials that naturally regulate temperature and humidity, creating a microclimate that remains comfortable throughout the night, regardless of outside conditions. The sleeping area itself features surfaces made from sustainably harvested teak that's been treated with natural oils to resist moisture while maintaining that wonderful tactile warmth that only real wood can provide. The cushions and bedding aren't simply luxurious. They're made from organic materials that naturally wick moisture and regulate temperature. Even the colors have been chosen based on research into which hues most effectively promote restful sleep. Above the sleeping area, a retractable canopy system allows you to sleep under the stars when conditions are perfect, or provide gentle protection during light rain or morning dew. The engineering behind this system is remarkable. Sensors automatically adjust the canopy based on weather conditions, humidity levels, and even the phase of the moon. On clear nights, you can lie back and watch the stars through specially designed openings that frame different constellations as they move across the sky. The sound design throughout the garden represents another level of sophistication that most people never consider. Natural acoustics have been carefully planned so that pleasant sounds are amplified while unwanted noise is minimized. Water features are positioned to create layered audio experiences, from the gentle trickle of small streams to the more substantial sound of waterfalls in the distance. Even the selection and placement of trees takes into account how they'll interact with wind to create natural music. Bird life in this garden isn't left to chance either. Specific plants have been chosen to attract species known for their beautiful songs, while discouraging those that might disturb peaceful sleep. Feeders and water sources are strategically placed to encourage the presence of nightingales, wrens, and other birds whose gentle calls add to rather than detract from the tranquil atmosphere. The garden's microclimates have been engineered to create what researchers call thermal comfort zones. Different areas maintain slightly different temperatures and humidity levels, allowing you to find the perfect spot for your current comfort needs. The main sleeping area remains consistently ideal for human comfort, but you can walk to slightly warmer or cooler zones depending on your preferences or how your body temperature fluctuates throughout the evening. Water features throughout the space serve multiple purposes beyond their obvious beauty. The main fountain uses a specialized filtration system that not only keeps the water crystal clear, but actually improves air quality in the surrounding area. The sound of moving water has been calibrated to match frequencies that research shows are most effective for promoting relaxation and sleep. Smaller water features create intimate spaces for reflection, while larger ones provide gathering areas for peaceful conversation. What makes this garden worth nearly $2 million isn't just the individual elements, extraordinary as they are. It's the way everything works together to create an environment that seems to anticipate your needs before you're even aware of them yourself. The lighting gradually dims as your body naturally prepares for sleep. The fragrance in the air shifts subtly as night progresses, supporting different stages of the sleep cycle. Even the temperature and humidity adjust automatically to maintain optimal comfort throughout the night. The maintenance systems for this garden represent another marvel of engineering and design. Everything is automated to preserve the perfect environment while remaining completely invisible to anyone enjoying the space. Irrigation systems deliver precisely measured amounts of water to each plant based on species requirements, soil conditions, and weather forecasts. Lighting systems automatically adjust for seasonal changes in daylight hours. Even the fertilization program is computerized to maintain optimal plant health without ever disrupting the garden's use for relaxation and sleep. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of this garden is how it changes throughout the seasons while maintaining its core purpose of providing the perfect sleep environment. Spring brings the gentle awakening of bulbs and flowering trees, carefully timed so that their peak beauty coincides with the longer, warmer evenings, perfect for outdoor sleeping. Summer features the full glory of the night-blooming plants and the most extensive use of the water features to create cooling microclimates. Fall transforms the space with warm colors and the gentle rustling of leaves, while winter reveals the garden's architectural bones and evergreen structure. Even in cold weather, heated pathways and warming systems in the sleep pavilion allow year-round enjoyment. The seasonal transitions aren't just beautiful to observe. They're designed to support human biological rhythms that naturally shift with changing daylight and temperature patterns. The psychological impact of sleeping in such a carefully crafted environment goes far beyond simple comfort or luxury. Research in environmental psychology shows that humans have deep, often unconscious responses to natural settings that can dramatically affect sleep quality, stress levels, and overall well-being. This garden takes that research and applies it with precision that would make a Swiss watchmaker jealous. Every element contributes to what sleep specialists call sleep hygiene, the environmental and behavioral factors that promote consistent quality rest. But here, sleep hygiene isn't just about avoiding screens before bed or keeping the room cool. It's about creating an environment so perfectly attuned to human needs that falling asleep becomes effortless, natural, and deeply restorative. The garden's impact on your nervous system begins the moment you settle into the sleeping area. Your body, accustomed to the artificial environments of modern life, immediately recognizes something profound happening here. The negative ions produced by the carefully selected plants begin their work, naturally reducing cortisol levels and promoting the production of serotonin. It's like receiving a gentle massage from the air itself, a biological response that our ancestors experienced regularly, but that modern life has largely eliminated. As you lie back on the temperature-regulating surfaces, Your skin comes into contact with materials that have been chosen not just for comfort, but for their ability to support healthy sleep cycles. The natural fibers breathe with you, adjusting to your body temperature throughout the night. The subtle elevation of the sleeping platform positions you at the perfect angle to take advantage of gentle air currents that flow naturally through the garden's designed wind patterns. The transition from wakefulness to sleep in this environment isn't the struggle many of us know from our bedrooms at home. Instead, it's a gradual, natural progression supported by every element around you. The lighting system, now in its evening mode, produces wavelengths that encourage melatonin production while filtering out the blue light that can disrupt natural sleep patterns. The gentle illumination allows you to appreciate the garden's nighttime beauty without interfering with your body's preparation for rest. Above you, the night sky reveals itself in ways impossible in most urban settings. The garden's location and design minimize light pollution, while the surrounding trees frame views of constellations that rotate slowly overhead. On clear nights, you might catch sight of the Milky Way, that river of stars that connects you to something infinitely larger than daily concerns and worries. The soundscape continues to evolve as night deepens. The daytime chorus of bees and butterflies gives way to the gentle symphony of nocturnal nature. Cricket songs provide a natural metronome, their rhythmic chirping scientifically proven to promote relaxation. Occasionally, the soft hoot of an owl in the distance adds a deeper note to the evening's composition. These aren't random sounds but carefully cultivated audio experiences that support rather than disturb peaceful rest. Your breathing naturally begins to slow and deepen as the garden's atmosphere works its magic. The oxygen-enriched air, purified by the surrounding plants and enhanced by the water features, fills your lungs with each breath. The subtle fragrances continue their aromatherapy work, with different scents becoming more prominent as the night progresses. What began as gentle jasmine might give way to the earthier scents of night-blooming herbs, each transition supporting different phases of the sleep cycle. The garden's designers understood that true luxury lies not in ostentation, but in the seamless support of human well-being. Every expensive element serves a purpose beyond mere display. The rare orchids that bloom only at night don't just provide visual beauty, they contribute to the complex ecosystem that maintains perfect air quality. The hand-carved stone pathways don't just look elegant, they retain the day's warmth and release it slowly through the evening, creating gentle thermal currents that enhance comfort. As sleep approaches, you become aware of subtle changes in your environment that you might not consciously notice. The automated systems begin their nighttime routines. Humidity levels adjust to optimal ranges for respiratory comfort. The gentle misting systems activate, adding just enough moisture to keep the air from becoming dry while never creating uncomfortable dampness. Temperature regulation systems ensure that microclimates around the sleeping area remain in that narrow range where the human body sleeps most peacefully. The psychological effect of knowing you're surrounded by nearly $2 million worth of thoughtful design might seem like it would create anxiety or pressure to properly appreciate the experience. Instead, the opposite occurs. The profound attention to detail, the seamless integration of countless elements working in harmony, creates a sense of being completely cared for. It's like being held by the environment itself, supported by decades of research and craftsmanship, all focused on this single goal of perfect rest. Even the wildlife that visits this garden has been considered in the overall design. The plants and water sources attract beneficial creatures, while discouraging those that might disturb peaceful sleep. Fireflies might dance among the flowers, their gentle blinking adding magic to the evening without creating distraction. Gentle butterflies during twilight hours provide movement and life to the scene without the aggressive presence of less welcome insects. The water features take on a different character as night falls. What appeared as sparkling fountains in daylight now become gentle silver streams reflecting starlight and the soft garden illumination. The sound of water continues its therapeutic work. but the visual impact shifts to something more mysterious and dreamlike. Occasional gentle splashes from fish in the larger water features add unexpected moments of gentle life to the soundscape. Your body's natural circadian rhythms, often disrupted by artificial lighting and urban noise, begin to align with the ancient patterns that guided human sleep for millennia. The gradual darkening, the cooling air, the shift in natural sounds, all work together to signal that this is the time for rest. Your internal clock, confused by modern life's constant illumination and stimulation, finds its natural rhythm again in this carefully crafted environment. The tactile experiences continue to evolve as you settle deeper into rest. The materials around you maintain their perfect temperature, never becoming cold or clammy as synthetic materials might. The gentle air movement prevents any feeling of stuffiness while never creating uncomfortable drafts. Even the surfaces beneath you seem to respond to your body, providing support exactly where needed, while maintaining that perfect balance between softness and stability. As your consciousness begins to drift towards sleep, the garden reveals another layer of its sophisticated design. The plants around you are actively working to improve your sleep quality through their natural processes. Some species increase their oxygen production during nighttime hours. Others release specific compounds that research has shown to promote deep, restorative sleep phases. This isn't just a beautiful place to rest, it's a living laboratory designed to optimize human sleep. The investment in this garden becomes clear not just in its obvious luxury, but in the depth of research and expertise that informed every decision. Sleep scientists, botanists, acoustic engineers, lighting specialists, climate control experts, and master gardeners all contributed their knowledge to create this singular environment. The price reflects not just expensive materials and rare plants, but thousands of hours of expert consultation and planning focused on a single goal. Your dreams, when they begin, are influenced by this extraordinary environment. The gentle sounds, the perfect air quality, the optimal temperature, all contribute to the kind of deep restorative sleep that leaves you feeling truly refreshed. The natural setting encourages the kind of peaceful dream states that urban environments often make impossible. Your subconscious mind, no longer needing to filter out traffic noise, sirens, or the hum of air conditioning, can focus on true rest and restoration. The garden continues its work throughout the night, systems monitoring and adjusting to maintain perfect conditions. If the temperature drops, gentle warming elements activate invisibly. If humidity levels shift, the misting systems respond automatically. If clouds block starlight, the sophisticated lighting system provides just enough gentle illumination to maintain the magical atmosphere without disturbing sleep. Morning in this garden arrives not with jarring alarms or harsh sunlight, but with a gradual awakening as natural and gentle as the evening's transition into sleep. The automated systems begin their dawn routine hours before you wake, slowly shifting lighting spectrums to support your body's natural awakening process. The first birdsongs are carefully cultivated species, known for their gentle, beautiful calls that welcome rather than startle. Different seasons bring their own versions of this perfect sleep experience. Spring nights might feature the gentle fragrance of cherry blossoms or the soft rustle of new leaves. Summer offers the full glory of night-blooming flowers and the cooling influence of expanded water features. Autumn brings the earthy sense of changing leaves and the cozy feeling of being sheltered among trees preparing for winter. Even winter nights in this garden maintain their magic. With evergreen scents, gentle heating systems, and the stark beauty of architectural plants revealed against the night sky. The true luxury of this nearly $2 million garden lies not in any single expensive element, but in the seamless orchestration of countless details working in perfect harmony. It's the difference between hearing individual musicians playing and experiencing a symphony. Every plant, every stone, every technological system contributes to a unified experience that transcends the sum of its parts. As you rest in this extraordinary environment, You're not just sleeping in an expensive garden. You're experiencing what happens when human knowledge, artistic vision, and unlimited resources combine with the single goal of creating the perfect conditions for rest and restoration. It's a glimpse into a different way of living, where technology serves nature rather than replacing it, where luxury means harmony rather than excess, and where the simple act of falling asleep becomes a profound connection to the natural world. The investment in creating such a space reflects a deeper understanding of what truly matters in human life. In a world increasingly disconnected from natural rhythms and peaceful environments, this garden represents a return to something essential. It's not just about having enough money to afford such luxury, but about recognizing the value of environments that support human well-being at the deepest level. Your sleep here becomes more than rest. It becomes restoration in the truest sense. Your nervous system, constantly activated by modern life's demands, finally has the chance to fully relax. Your breathing deepens into patterns that maximize oxygen absorption. Your heart rate settles into rhythms that promote healing and regeneration. Your mind, freed from the need to filter out urban noise and artificial stimulation, can focus entirely on the restorative processes that happen during quality sleep. This is what nearly $2 million in garden design can accomplish when every decision is made with human well-being as the ultimate goal. It's not about impressing visitors or displaying wealth, but about creating conditions where the human body and mind can function exactly as nature intended. In this space, surrounded by carefully chosen plants under a canopy of stars, with the gentle sound of water and the perfect embrace of naturally regulated air, sleep becomes what it was always meant to be, a daily return to peace, restoration, and harmony with the natural world. The morning transition in this extraordinary space represents perhaps the most sophisticated aspect of the entire $2 million investment. Unlike the harsh awakening most of us experience with alarm clocks and artificial lighting, your emergence from sleep here is as carefully orchestrated as your evening descent into rest. Hours before your natural wake time, sensors throughout the garden begin detecting subtle changes in your sleep patterns, preparing for your gentle return to consciousness. The lighting system starts its dawn sequence long before sunrise, gradually shifting from the deep amber tones that supported your sleep toward the cooler blue wavelengths that naturally encourage wakefulness. This isn't the jarring brightness of a bedside lamp, but a slow, almost imperceptible brightening that mimics the natural progression of dawn. Your circadian rhythms, so perfectly supported throughout the night, continue to receive exactly the right signals to promote natural, refreshed awakening. As you begin to stir, the garden's morning symphony unfolds around you. The night-blooming flowers that filled the air with their evening fragrances gradually close their petals, making way for the day bloomers that will provide the morning's aromatic experience. The transition is seamless, one beautiful scent giving way to another in an endless cycle of natural aromatherapy that changes with the hours and seasons. Your body, having spent the night in perfect temperature regulation and optimal air quality, awakens feeling truly restored. The deep oxygen-rich sleep facilitated by the garden's plant selection has allowed your muscles to fully relax and repair. Your mind, freed from the constant low-level stress of urban noise and artificial environments, emerges clear and peaceful. This isn't just waking up, it's returning to consciousness feeling genuinely renewed. The water features that provided such soothing sounds throughout the night now catch the early morning light, creating gentle sparkles and reflections that add visual magic to the auditory beauty. The streams and fountains continue their therapeutic work, but now they're joined by the gentle sounds of beneficial birds beginning their day. These aren't random bird songs, but carefully cultivated species chosen for their beautiful, welcoming calls that enhance, rather than disturb, the peaceful atmosphere. As you stretch and begin to move, The temperature-regulating surfaces beneath you maintain their perfect warmth, never cold or uncomfortable, despite the night air. The natural fibers that surrounded you through the night have continued to breathe and adjust, maintaining that ideal balance of support and softness. Even the simple act of sitting up becomes a luxurious experience when every surface has been designed with human comfort as its primary purpose. The garden reveals new beauties in the morning light that were hidden in darkness. Dew catches on carefully selected grasses and flowers, creating thousands of tiny diamonds scattered throughout the landscape. The morning sun filters through the strategically placed trees, creating patterns of light and shadow that shift gently as the earth turns. What seemed magical in moonlight now appears fresh and alive in the golden light of dawn. Your awakening breakfast experience has been considered with the same attention to detail as every other aspect of this remarkable space. A discreet service area, hidden from view but connected to the main garden through underground pathways, ensures that fresh fruit, perfectly brewed tea, or whatever morning nourishment you prefer can appear as if by magic. The timing is coordinated with your natural wake patterns, arriving just as your body begins to signal its readiness for gentle sustenance. The transition from the sleeping area to full engagement with the garden is designed to be as gradual and natural as everything else in this space. Pathways lead from the sleep pavilion through different garden rooms, each offering its own morning experience. You might wander to the meditation grove for quiet reflection, or visit the sensory garden where morning dew has intensified the fragrances of herbs and flowers. Every step is planned to support your gentle emergence into the day. The exercise areas integrated throughout the garden provide opportunities for gentle movement that complement the perfect sleep you've just experienced. These aren't conventional gym spaces, but thoughtfully designed areas where stretching, yoga, or Tai Chi can be practiced surrounded by beauty and tranquility. The surfaces are naturally shock-absorbing, the views inspiring, and the air quality optimal for deeper breathing and movement. One of the most remarkable features becomes apparent as the morning progresses, and you fully appreciate the garden's seasonal intelligence. The plant selections ensure that something beautiful is always happening, regardless of when you visit or what time of year. Spring mornings might feature the delicate blossoms of cherry trees or the fresh green of new growth. Summer brings the full glory of perennial flowers and the cooling shade of mature trees. Autumn offers the warm colors of changing leaves and the earthy sense of harvest. Even winter mornings reveal their own stark beauty with evergreen structures and the architectural bones of the garden's design. The educational aspect of this garden becomes more apparent as you spend time in the morning light. Small discrete plaques provide information about the plants and their specific contributions to the sleep environment, but only if you seek them out. The learning is optional, never intrusive. You might discover that the particular tree shading your morning coffee produces compounds that naturally purify the air, or that the flowers blooming nearby were selected specifically for their ability to attract beneficial insects while discouraging pests. The technology integration throughout the space becomes more visible in daylight, though it remains elegantly hidden. Solar panels disguised as decorative elements power the garden's systems. Weather monitoring equipment is built into artistic sculptures. Irrigation systems emerge briefly to provide water exactly when and where needed, then disappear back into the landscape. The sophistication is remarkable, but never overwhelming or obvious. Your connection to the natural world, so carefully nurtured through the night, continues to develop as you move through the morning garden. The stresses and artificial rhythms of modern life seem distant and unimportant. Your nervous system, reset by perfect sleep in an optimal environment, responds to natural stimuli with the sensitivity our ancestors knew, but that contemporary life often dulls. Colors appear more vivid, fragrances more distinct, the textures of plants and natural materials more engaging. The psychological benefits of starting your day in such an environment extend far beyond the immediate pleasure of beauty and comfort. Research in environmental psychology shows that exposure to natural settings, especially those as carefully designed as this garden, can improve cognitive function, reduce stress hormones, and enhance creativity. The investment in creating this space pays dividends not just in immediate comfort, but in long-term well-being and life satisfaction. The garden's influence on your daily rhythms becomes apparent as you prepare to leave this sanctuary. Your body, having experienced truly natural sleep and awakening cycles, feels more connected to authentic time patterns. The artificial urgency that drives so much of modern life seems less compelling when you've experienced the gentle, sustainable rhythms that this environment promotes. You carry with you not just the memory of beautiful surroundings, but the physical and psychological benefits of truly restorative rest. The social aspects of this garden space reveal themselves as morning progresses. While perfect for solitary rest and reflection, the design also accommodates shared experiences. Conversation areas positioned to catch morning sun invite quiet discussion over breakfast. Multiple sleeping areas allow couples or families to experience the garden together while maintaining individual comfort. The space adapts to different needs without losing its essential character of promoting peace and well-being. As the morning advances toward midday, the garden begins its transition toward the next cycle. The day-blooming plants reach their peak beauty, filling the air with different fragrances than those that supported your sleep. The lighting systems adjust to support daytime activities while preparing for another perfect evening. Water features shift their patterns to provide more cooling as temperatures rise. Every change is purposeful, part of the endless cycle that makes this space perfect for human rest and restoration. The maintenance ballet that keeps this garden in perfect condition becomes more visible during daylight hours, though it remains remarkably discreet. Skilled gardeners appear briefly to tend specific plants or adjust systems, then fade back into the landscape. The work is constant but invisible, ensuring that every element remains at peak beauty and function. The investment in ongoing care is as significant as the initial construction, reflecting the commitment required to maintain such an extraordinary environment. Your departure from this nearly $2 million paradise carries with it a profound appreciation for what thoughtful design can accomplish when human well-being is the primary goal. This isn't just an expensive garden, but a demonstration of how deeply we can support natural human needs when resources and expertise combine with genuine understanding of what promotes health and happiness. The memory of sleeping in this environment becomes a reference point for understanding what rest can be when it's properly supported. The contrast with typical sleep experiences highlights how much we've accepted as normal that actually interferes with our natural patterns. The garden serves as both sanctuary and teacher, showing what's possible when we align our environments with our biological and psychological needs. The ripple effects of experiencing such perfect rest extend into every aspect of daily life. Energy levels remain more stable throughout the day. Stress responses become more measured and appropriate. Creativity and problem-solving abilities improve. Relationships benefit from the emotional stability that comes with truly restorative sleep. The investment in this garden pays dividends far beyond the immediate experience of sleeping among beautiful plants under a canopy of stars. The seasonal variations in this garden ensure that each visit offers something new and wonderful. The spring experience of sleeping among cherry blossoms and emerging bulbs differs from the summer luxury of night-blooming tropical flowers and cooling water features. Autumn brings the cozy feeling of being nestled among trees dressed in warm colors, while winter offers the stark beauty of architectural plants and the special intimacy of the heated sleep pavilion surrounded by snow-touched evergreens. The garden's contribution to environmental sustainability adds another layer of meaning to the experience. Despite its luxury and technological sophistication, the space operates as a net positive for the local ecosystem. The extensive plant collection improves air quality for the surrounding area. Water management systems capture and recycle precipitation. Composting programs turn organic waste into soil amendments. Solar collection provides clean energy. The garden demonstrates that luxury and environmental responsibility can work together beautifully. Your understanding of what constitutes true luxury evolves through experiencing this space. It's not about having the most expensive materials or the rarest plants, though this garden certainly features both. True luxury lies in the seamless integration of countless elements working together to support human flourishing. It's about creating conditions where your body and mind can function exactly as nature intended, supported by the best of human knowledge and craftsmanship. The educational value of experiencing such a garden extends beyond learning about plants or design principles. It provides a visceral understanding of how profoundly environment affects human well-being. The contrast between sleeping here and sleeping in typical urban conditions highlights the constant low-level stress most of us accept as normal. This garden shows what's possible when we prioritize human health and happiness in our designed environments. The artistry of this space becomes more apparent with time and observation. Every vista has been composed with the eye of a painter. Every seasonal transition has been choreographed with the skill of a dancer. Every fragrance combination has been blended with the sensitivity of a perfumer. The garden is living art that changes constantly while maintaining its essential character of promoting peace and restoration. The technology that supports this garden represents the best of human innovation applied to enhancing, rather than replacing, natural processes. Sensors monitor soil conditions to ensure optimal plant health. Weather stations predict changes and adjust systems accordingly. Lighting controls support both plant growth and human circadian rhythms. Water management systems maximize efficiency while maintaining beauty. Every technological element serves the greater goal of creating perfect conditions for rest and restoration. Your relationship with sleep itself transforms through experiencing this environment. What might once have been merely the absence of wakefulness becomes an anticipated journey into restoration and peace. The evening ritual of settling into this garden becomes as important as the sleep itself, a transition from the demands of daily life into a sanctuary designed specifically for renewal. The community of people who have experienced this garden creates its own special bond. Visitors often speak of it in reverent terms, describing not just the beauty or luxury, but the profound sense of well-being that comes from truly perfect rest. The garden becomes a reference point for understanding what human environments can be when they're designed with genuine care for human flourishing. As afternoon light begins to shift toward evening, the garden prepares once again for its primary purpose. The evening blooming plants begin to stir. The lighting systems start their gradual transition toward nighttime spectrums. Water features adjust their patterns to provide the perfect soundtrack for another night of restorative sleep. The cycle continues, as natural and inevitable as sunrise and sunset, as constant and reliable as the turning of seasons. The nearly $2 million investment in this garden reflects a deeper understanding of what truly matters in human life. In a world increasingly disconnected from natural rhythms and peaceful environments, this space represents a return to something essential. It's not just about having enough resources to afford such luxury, but about recognizing the profound value of environments that support human well-being at the deepest level. Your experience of sleeping in this extraordinary garden becomes more than a luxury experience. It becomes a revelation about what rest can be when it's properly supported, what peace feels like when it's genuine and complete, and what happens to human consciousness when it's allowed to function in harmony with the natural world. The memory becomes a gift that continues giving, a reference point for understanding true well-being, and a reminder of what's possible when human creativity and natural wisdom work together in perfect harmony. The transformation that occurs within your consciousness as evening settles over this magnificent sanctuary defies simple description. It's as if the garden itself begins to breathe differently as daylight fades, exhaling the stored warmth of the day while drawing in the cool promise of night. Your body responds instinctively to these subtle shifts, recognizing at some primal level that this environment has been crafted specifically to support the ancient rhythms that govern human rest and restoration. The evening air carries with it a complexity of fragrances that commercial aromatherapy can only dream of replicating. Each breath brings a new layer of botanical perfume, carefully orchestrated by plants that have been selected not just for their beauty, but for their ability to induce states of profound calm. The night-blooming cereus begins its slow unfurling, releasing compounds that researchers have found naturally lower blood pressure and heart rate. Evening primrose adds its own sweet contribution to the olfactory symphony, while 4 o'clocks time their opening precisely to the garden's transition into its nocturnal phase. Your skin becomes exquisitely sensitive to the gentle caresses of air that move through the space with purposeful direction. The garden's designers understood that even the slightest breeze patterns could be optimized for human comfort, and so they positioned trees and structures to create natural air currents that provide cooling without ever becoming uncomfortable drafts. These invisible rivers of perfectly conditioned air flow around your body as you settle into position, carrying with them the concentrated essence of hundreds of plants working in harmony to create the ultimate sleep environment. The sleeping surface beneath you represents perhaps the most sophisticated understanding of how materials can support human rest. Every fiber has been chosen for its ability to regulate temperature naturally, wicking away moisture while maintaining that perfect balance between support and yielding softness. The fabrics breathe with your body, expanding and contracting with each breath, creating a sensation of being gently held by the environment itself. These aren't synthetic materials trying to mimic natural comfort, but the finest organic fibers processed using techniques that preserve their inherent ability to support human well-being. Above you, the canopy system reveals another layer of the garden's remarkable sophistication. As full darkness approaches, sensors throughout the space begin their delicate dance of adjustment. The retractable covering responds to humidity levels, temperature fluctuations, and even the subtle electromagnetic changes that precede weather shifts. On this perfect evening, the canopy remains fully open, creating an unobstructed view of the celestial display preparing to unfold overhead. The engineering is so precise that you feel completely protected while remaining totally connected to the natural world above. The water features throughout the garden undergo their own evening transformation, shifting from the bright sparkle of daylight to something more mysterious and ethereal. The main fountain, its jets calibrated to create specific sound frequencies that promote relaxation, now catches starlight and the garden's subtle illumination to create moving sculptures of liquid silver. Smaller streams whisper their way between carefully placed stones, their gentle murmuring joining the evening chorus of beneficial insects and night birds that call this sanctuary home. Your nervous system, constantly bombarded by the harsh stimuli of modern life, begins to unwind in ways you may have forgotten were possible. The absence of artificial electromagnetic fields, the pure quality of the air, the gentle support of natural materials, all combine to allow your body's own healing mechanisms to engage fully. Cortisol levels begin their natural decline as melatonin production increases. But here these biological processes are supported and enhanced by every element of your environment working in perfect synchronization. The garden's lighting system reaches its evening crescendo as twilight deepens into true night. Hundreds of individually controlled fixtures adjust their output and color temperature with the precision of a master conductor leading a world-class orchestra. The illumination never feels artificial or intrusive, instead, creating the impression that the plants themselves are glowing with inner light. Pathways remain safely visible, while sleeping areas are bathed in the warm amber tones that research has proven most conducive to natural sleep onset. Each plant species in this remarkable collection has been positioned with acute awareness of how it will contribute to the evening's sensory experience. The placement isn't random or merely aesthetic, but follows principles derived from centuries of botanical knowledge combined with cutting-edge research into how different plants affect human physiology. Night-blooming jasmine climbs a trellis positioned precisely where its fragrance will be carried by evening air currents to the sleeping area. Lavender borders pathways where its calming properties will be released with each gentle footstep. Evening stock fills areas where its sweet perfume can mingle with the natural humidity to create nature's own aromatherapy diffusion. The temperature regulation throughout the space represents a marvel of environmental engineering that operates completely invisibly. Thermal sensors embedded throughout the garden monitor microclimates with extraordinary precision, triggering gentle heating or cooling responses that maintain perfect comfort zones. The sleeping area benefits from radiant heating elements built into the platform itself, surfaces that warm to exactly the right temperature to support your body's natural thermoregulation without ever feeling artificial or overwhelming. Your transition into sleep becomes a journey rather than a destination. The garden supports each stage of this progression, with elements specifically chosen to enhance the natural process. As your breathing deepens and slows, the plants around you respond to the increased carbon dioxide levels by boosting their oxygen production. It's a symbiotic relationship that connects you to the living ecosystem in the most fundamental way possible. A reminder that humans are part of nature rather than separate from it. The acoustic environment continues to evolve as night deepens. The daytime sounds of bees and butterflies give way to the gentle symphony of nocturnal creatures. Cricket choruses provide natural white noise that masks any distant urban sounds, while creating rhythms that naturally synchronize with restful brainwave patterns. The occasional soft hoot of an owl adds depth to the soundscape, without ever startling or disturbing. These aren't random wildlife sounds, but carefully cultivated audio experiences that support rather than interrupt peaceful rest. Different areas of the garden reveal their unique nighttime personalities as you explore before settling into sleep. The meditation grove becomes a cathedral of shadows and gentle moonlight, filtering through bamboo leaves. The sensory garden transforms into a tactile wonderland where the day's warmth radiates from stone paths while dew begins to form on the soft leaves of lamb's ear and other touchable plants. Each microenvironment offers its own version of perfect conditions for rest and reflection. The garden's integration of technology with natural systems becomes more apparent as automated functions engage for the evening. Irrigation systems activate with whisper-quiet precision, delivering moisture exactly where and when each plant needs it. The timing is coordinated to avoid any disruption to human comfort, while ensuring optimal growing conditions. Misting systems engage briefly to maintain ideal humidity levels, creating the slightest suggestion of tropical freshness without ever feeling damp or uncomfortable. Your body's circadian rhythms, often disrupted by artificial lighting and urban noise, begin to align with the ancient patterns that guided human sleep for millennia. The gradual darkening, the cooling air, the shift in natural sounds, all work together to signal that this is the time for rest. Your internal clock, confused by modern life's constant illumination and stimulation, finds its natural rhythm again in this carefully crafted environment. It's like returning home to a place you didn't know you'd been missing. The psychological impact of resting in such an extraordinary environment extends far beyond simple comfort. There's something profoundly healing about being surrounded by beauty that has been created specifically for your well-being. Every element speaks of care, attention, and respect for human needs. The investment in creating such a space reflects not just financial resources, but a deep understanding of what truly supports human flourishing. You're not just sleeping in an expensive garden. You're experiencing what happens when unlimited care meets unlimited knowledge in service of perfect rest. The seasonal variations in fragrance become more pronounced as night progresses. Spring evenings might carry the delicate perfume of cherry blossoms or the green freshness of new growth. Summer brings the intoxicating scents of tropical night bloomers and the cooling fragrance of plants that release their most therapeutic compounds after sunset. Autumn offers the earthy richness of changing leaves and the warm spice of chrysanthemums. Even winter nights provide their own aromatic experiences with evergreen scents and the subtle fragrances of plants selected specifically for cold weather blooming. The water features take on an almost magical quality as full darkness arrives. What appeared as sparkling fountains in daylight now become ethereal sculptures of moving light and shadow. The sound of water continues its therapeutic work, but now the visual impact shifts to something more mysterious and dreamlike. Gentle splashes from fish in the larger water features add unexpected moments of life to the soundscape, while smaller streams create intimate pockets of sound that mask any remaining traces of the outside world. Your dreams, when they finally come, are influenced by this extraordinary environment in ways both subtle and profound. The gentle sounds, the perfect air quality, the optimal temperature all contribute to the kind of deep, restorative sleep that leaves you feeling truly refreshed. The natural setting encourages peaceful dream states that urban environments often make impossible. Your subconscious mind, no longer needing to filter out traffic noise, sirens, or the hum of air conditioning, can focus on true rest and restoration. The garden continues its supportive work throughout the night, systems monitoring and adjusting to maintain perfect conditions with the dedication of the most attentive caregiver. Temperature sensors trigger gentle warming if the air cools beyond the optimal range. Humidity monitors activate misting systems if the air becomes too dry. Light sensors ensure that any necessary illumination remains at levels that support rather than disrupt natural sleep cycles. Every adjustment happens automatically and invisibly, maintaining the illusion of sleeping in a completely natural environment, while actually benefiting from technology's most sophisticated support. The morning transition that awaits represents perhaps the most beautiful aspect of this entire experience. Long before your natural wake time, the garden begins preparing for your gentle return to consciousness. The lighting system starts its dawn sequence, gradually shifting from the deep amber tones that supported your sleep toward the cooler wavelengths that naturally encourage wakefulness. Bird songs begin with the most gentle species, building slowly into a chorus that welcomes rather than startles. Even the plants participate, with morning blooming species beginning to release their fragrances in anticipation of sunrise. The air quality reaches its daily peak during these pre-dawn hours, as the night's plant activity has maximized oxygen production, while the absence of daytime heating minimizes any atmospheric pollutants. Your first breaths of waking consciousness are filled with air so pure and oxygen-rich that it feels almost effervescent. The sensation is like drinking from a mountain spring with your lungs, refreshing and energizing in ways that processed indoor air can never provide. The investment in creating such perfect conditions extends beyond the immediate sleeping experience to encompass every moment of your time in this sanctuary. The pathways that lead from the sleeping area are designed to support gentle movement, with surfaces that provide perfect traction while remaining comfortable for bare feet. The slight elevation changes are calculated to provide gentle exercise for awakening muscles without ever feeling challenging or uncomfortable. Different viewing areas throughout the garden offer various perspectives on the changing light and awakening landscape. You might choose to watch sunrise from the elevated pavilion, where the view encompasses the entire garden and beyond. Or perhaps the intimate grove appeals more, where filtered light creates patterns of gold and green that shift gently as the earth turns. Each vantage point has been designed to provide its own version of morning magic, ensuring that every visit offers something new and wonderful to discover. The breakfast service area, discreetly positioned but easily accessible, ensures that your first nourishment can be as perfect as everything else about this experience. Fresh fruit from the garden's own trees, herbs picked moments before serving, tea blended specifically to complement the morning's aromatic environment, all delivered with timing that matches your natural awakening rhythm. The food becomes part of the overall experience, not separate from it, but integrated into the garden's mission of supporting complete well-being. Your departure from this nearly $2 million paradise carries with it more than just memories of beauty and comfort. You take with you a new understanding of what rest can be when it's properly supported, what peace feels like when it's genuine and complete. The experience becomes a reference point for understanding true luxury, not as excess or display, but as the careful alignment of resources and knowledge in service of human flourishing. The garden's influence extends far beyond the hours spent sleeping within its boundaries. The deep restorative rest achieved in such perfect conditions affects energy levels, emotional stability, and cognitive function for days afterward. The memory of breathing pure air and sleeping in harmony with natural rhythms serves as a reminder of what's possible when we prioritize well-being over mere convenience or cost. This extraordinary investment in human comfort and restoration represents something larger than personal luxury. It's a demonstration of what becomes possible when we truly understand the relationship between environment and well-being, when we apply the best of human knowledge and resources to supporting our most fundamental needs. The garden stands as proof that technology and nature can work together beautifully, that luxury and sustainability can coexist, and that the simple act of sleeping can be elevated to something approaching the sacred when surrounded by such thoughtful care and attention. Your time in this remarkable space becomes more than just an unusual sleep experience. It becomes an education in what human environments can be when they're designed with genuine understanding of our biological and psychological needs. The contrast with typical sleep conditions highlights how much we've accepted as normal that actually interferes with our natural patterns. The garden serves as both sanctuary and teacher, showing what's possible when we align our surroundings with the wisdom of nature and the insights of science working in perfect harmony. The profound silence that settles over this extraordinary garden as the deepest hours of night arrive creates something beyond mere quiet. It's a living silence, pregnant with the gentle breathing of hundreds of plants working in harmony, the soft circulation of perfectly conditioned air, and the barely audible whisper of water moving through hidden channels beneath your resting place. This isn't the dead silence of soundproofed rooms, but the rich, nurturing quiet of nature at its most peaceful, a silence that seems to cradle your consciousness as you drift deeper into the most restorative sleep imaginable. Your body responds to this environment with a completeness that surprises even those who understand sleep science. Every muscle fiber releases tension you didn't know you were carrying. Your breathing settles into patterns so deep and rhythmic that each exhale seems to release not just carbon dioxide, but the accumulated stress of months or even years. The garden's influence reaches into your cellular structure, supporting the natural repair processes that happen during quality sleep, but are so often interrupted by suboptimal conditions. The botanical pharmacy surrounding you continues its gentle work throughout these quiet hours. Plants selected specifically for their sleep-supporting compounds release their therapeutic molecules in carefully timed waves. Some species boost their production of compounds that naturally reduce inflammation. Others increase their output of molecules that support the production of growth hormone, that precious substance that repairs and regenerates tissue during deep sleep phases. Still others contribute to the complex chemical symphony that supports memory consolidation and emotional processing. The temperature regulation system reaches its most sophisticated expression during these deep sleep hours. Your body's natural temperature fluctuations are supported and enhanced by surfaces that warm and cool in precise synchronization with your circadian rhythms. The sleeping platform beneath you contains thousands of microchannels that circulate temperature-controlled fluid. creating a sleeping surface that responds to your body's needs faster than your nervous system can even detect changes. You remain in that perfect thermal sweet spot, where sleep is deepest and most restorative. Above you, the night sky reveals celestial wonders that urban dwellers rarely experience. The garden's location and design minimize light pollution to such a degree that the Milky Way appears as a river of stars stretching across the heavens. Shooting stars trace their brief, brilliant paths through the darkness, while planets shine with steady light that connects you to the vast cosmos beyond this intimate sanctuary. The psychological impact of sleeping under such skies touches something primal in human consciousness, a reminder of our place in the larger universe that brings profound peace. The garden's nocturnal wildlife adds its own gentle presence to the night. Beneficial bats sweep silently overhead, their echolocation systems creating subsonic vibrations that research suggests may actually promote deeper sleep states. Night-flying moths, attracted to specific plants chosen for their ability to support these beautiful creatures, create gentle movement in the peripheral vision that enhances rather than disturbs the peaceful atmosphere. Even the insects contribute to the experience, with fireflies creating natural light shows that rival any human-made display. Your dreams during these optimal conditions take on a quality that feels almost prophetic. The combination of perfect air quality, ideal temperature, supportive surfaces, and complete absence of stress allows your mind to process experiences and emotions with unusual clarity. Many visitors report dreams of extraordinary vividness and meaning, as if the garden's influence extends into the subconscious realm where healing and integration occur. These aren't the chaotic dreams of disrupted sleep, but the coherent, meaningful dream experiences that come with truly restorative rest. The water features throughout the space continue their therapeutic work with subtle variations that support different sleep phases. During the lightest sleep stages, the sounds remain more prominent, helping to mask any potential disruptions from the distant world beyond the garden. As you move into deeper sleep phases, the water sounds become more muted and rhythmic, creating acoustic conditions that support the brainwave patterns associated with physical restoration and memory consolidation. The air you breathe during these precious hours represents perhaps the purest atmospheric environment available anywhere on Earth. The extensive plant collection has been selected not just for beauty or fragrance, but for the specific gases and compounds they produce during nighttime photosynthesis. Some species excel at removing toxins from the air. Others boost oxygen levels to concentrations that support optimal cellular function. Still others produce trace amounts of beneficial compounds that are absorbed through the lungs and contribute to overall health and well-being. Your skin, the body's largest organ, benefits enormously from the garden's carefully controlled environment. The humidity levels remain in that narrow range where skin neither dries out nor becomes uncomfortably moist. The air circulation prevents any stagnation while never creating uncomfortable drafts. The natural fibers surrounding you allow for perfect air exchange while maintaining optimal temperature. The result is skin that can breathe freely and naturally, supporting the important detoxification and repair processes that occur during quality sleep. The garden's influence on your nervous system becomes most profound during these deep sleep hours. The complete absence of electromagnetic interference allows your body's own bioelectric systems to function without the constant low-level disruption that characterizes modern environments. Your brainwaves settle into the slow, synchronized patterns that characterize the deepest, most restorative sleep phases. Your heart rate variability improves, indicating a nervous system in perfect balance between activation and rest. The seasonal variations in this nighttime experience add layers of richness that ensure each visit offers something new and wonderful. Spring nights might feature the gentle unfurling of tree buds releasing their fresh green fragrances. Summer brings the full glory of tropical night bloomers, creating an almost intoxicating atmosphere of floral perfume. Autumn offers the earthy richness of decomposing leaves, mixing with the warm spices of late-blooming herbs. Winter provides its own crystalline beauty with frost, creating temporary sculptures on evergreen branches, while heated pathways maintain perfect comfort. The garden's contribution to air ionization reaches its peak during the quiet hours after midnight. The combination of moving water, extensive plant life, and carefully designed air circulation creates concentrations of beneficial negative ions that rival those found at waterfalls or ocean shores. These invisible particles work at the cellular level to improve oxygen uptake, boost immune function, and promote the production of neurotransmitters associated with well-being and contentment. Your body's natural hormone production optimizes in ways that would be impossible in typical sleep environments. Melatonin levels reach ideal concentrations supported by the garden's lighting system and the complete absence of blue light pollution. Growth hormone production peaks at the optimal times, supported by the perfect temperature regulation and complete physical comfort. Cortisol levels drop to their natural nadirs, allowing the stress recovery processes that are so often incomplete in modern life. The botanical diversity surrounding you creates microclimates that shift subtly throughout the night, providing variety within perfection. Areas dominated by succulent plants maintain slightly different humidity levels than sections filled with tropical species. Groves of trees create pockets of different air circulation patterns. Water features generate zones of enhanced negative ion concentration. Your sleeping area benefits from all these influences, while remaining consistently comfortable and supportive. The garden's integration of ancient wisdom with modern technology becomes most apparent during these quiet hours. Principles derived from traditional Chinese medicine guide the placement of plants that support different organ systems during their peak restoration times. Ayurvedic knowledge informs the selection of herbs that balance different constitutional types. Modern sleep science provides the framework for temperature, humidity, and air quality control. The synthesis creates something entirely new, yet deeply rooted in humanity's long relationship with healing environments. Your cellular regeneration processes accelerate in ways that would astound medical researchers. The combination of pure air, optimal temperature, perfect humidity, supportive surfaces, and complete absence of environmental stresses allows your body to focus entirely on repair and renewal. Skin cells regenerate more efficiently. Muscle tissue repairs itself more completely. Even bone density can improve when sleep is this perfectly supported over time. The acoustic environment reaches its most refined expression during the deepest night hours. The water features adjust their flow patterns to create sound frequencies that research has shown to be most conducive to deep sleep states. Wind moving through carefully selected and positioned plants creates natural harmonies that rival any human-composed music. Even the settling sounds of the garden structures have been anticipated and designed to contribute positively to the overall audio experience. The garden's thermal mass reaches its optimal expression during these hours, radiating the day's accumulated warmth in gentle waves that supplement the sophisticated temperature control systems. Stone pathways and water features release their stored heat gradually, creating convection currents that provide natural air conditioning. The thermal dynamics have been calculated with precision that would impress aerospace engineers, yet the result feels completely natural and effortless. Your immune system benefits enormously from this perfect sleep environment. The absence of air pollutants reduces the inflammatory load on your body. The optimal humidity prevents respiratory irritation while maintaining the natural barriers that protect against pathogens. The stress-free environment allows immune cells to focus on surveillance and repair rather than managing environmental challenges. Many visitors report improved resistance to illness for weeks after experiencing such perfect sleep conditions. The garden's influence on your cardiovascular system becomes most pronounced during deep sleep phases. Your heart rate settles into patterns that maximize the efficiency of circulation while minimizing energy expenditure. blood pressure reaches its natural daily minimum, allowing arteries and veins to relax completely. The improved oxygenation from the plant-enriched air supports optimal blood chemistry. Even circulation to extremities improves in the perfectly regulated temperature environment. The psychological healing that occurs during sleep in this extraordinary environment extends far beyond simple rest and relaxation. The complete sense of safety and support allows your mind to process experiences and emotions that might otherwise remain unintegrated. The beauty surrounding you influences even unconscious mental processes, contributing to improved mood, reduced anxiety, and enhanced emotional resilience. Many visitors describe a sense of psychological renewal that lasts for months after their experience. The garden's contribution to your body's natural detoxification processes reaches its peak during these quiet hours. The lymphatic system, which relies on movement and proper positioning to function optimally, benefits from the perfectly supportive sleeping surfaces that maintain ideal spinal alignment throughout the night. The liver's detoxification processes are enhanced by the pure air and absence of environmental toxins. Even the skin's natural elimination processes are supported by the perfect humidity and air circulation. Your digestive system enters its own optimal state during sleep in this perfectly controlled environment. The absence of stress allows digestive organs to focus on repair and restoration, rather than managing fight or flight responses. The ideal temperature prevents the digestive disruption that can occur when the body is too hot or too cold during sleep. The pure air ensures that respiratory processes don't compete with digestion for the body's attention and resources. The garden's influence on your endocrine system creates cascading benefits throughout your entire physiology. Thyroid function optimizes when sleep is truly restorative and stress-free. Adrenal glands can finally rest and recover from the constant stimulation of modern life. Reproductive hormones balance naturally when the body isn't managing environmental stressors. The entire hormonal orchestra achieves the harmony that supports optimal health and vitality. The neurological benefits of sleeping in such perfect conditions extend far beyond simple rest for the brain. The glymphatic system, which clears metabolic waste from brain tissue during sleep, functions optimally when sleep is deep and uninterrupted. Neurotransmitter production balances naturally without the interference of environmental stressors. Even the formation of new neural connections, crucial for learning and memory, is enhanced by the perfect conditions surrounding your rest. Your circadian rhythm regulation reaches levels of precision that would be impossible in typical modern environments. The garden's lighting system provides exactly the right spectral information to keep your internal clock perfectly synchronized with natural day-night cycles. The temperature variations support the natural fluctuations that reinforce circadian timing. Even the plant life contributes chemical signals that help maintain optimal biological timing. The garden's influence on your respiratory system creates benefits that extend far beyond the immediate sleep period. The perfectly humidified, oxygen-rich air allows your lungs to function with maximum efficiency while requiring minimum effort. Respiratory muscles can truly relax for the first time in perhaps years. The absence of allergens and pollutants prevents the low-level inflammation that characterizes most modern breathing environments. Many visitors report improved breathing capacity and efficiency that lasts long after their garden experience. The cellular repair processes that occur during such perfectly supported sleep create benefits that accumulate over time. DNA repair mechanisms function more efficiently when not competing with environmental stress responses. Protein synthesis optimizes when the body has abundant resources and perfect conditions. Even the mitochondria, the cellular powerhouses that generate energy for all biological processes, function more efficiently in the pure, oxygen-rich environment of the garden. Your experience of time itself shifts during these profound sleep states. The deep, uninterrupted rest allows you to experience sleep's natural architecture without the fragmentation that characterizes most modern sleep. You move through sleep stages with the rhythm and timing that evolution intended, spending optimal amounts of time in each phase of the sleep cycle. The result is rest that feels both deeper and more complete than anything possible in typical sleep environments. The garden's contribution to your overall life satisfaction extends far beyond the immediate pleasure of sleeping in beautiful surroundings. The deep restoration, achieved in such perfect conditions, influences every aspect of your waking life. Energy levels remain stable and high. Emotional regulation improves dramatically. Cognitive function operates at peak efficiency. Even relationships benefit from the emotional stability and presence that comes with truly restorative sleep. As the night progresses toward its deepest point, usually between 2 and 4 in the morning, the garden reveals its most profound gifts. This is when the healing power of perfect sleep reaches its crescendo, when your body and mind achieve states of restoration that would be impossible under any other conditions. The investment in creating such an environment pays its greatest dividends during these precious hours, when every system in your body works in harmony to repair, renew, and restore itself for another day of vibrant living. The memory of sleeping in such perfection becomes a treasured reference point for understanding what rest can be when it's properly supported. Long after you've left this sanctuary, the experience continues to influence your appreciation for quality sleep and your understanding of how profoundly environment affects human well-being. The nearly $2 million garden reveals its true value, not in its price tag, but in its ability to demonstrate what becomes possible when human knowledge, natural wisdom, and unlimited care combine to support our most fundamental need for rest and restoration. The approaching dawn in this extraordinary sanctuary begins not with jarring alarms or sudden brightness, but with the gentlest possible transition from the deepest rest you've ever experienced. Hours before your natural awakening, sophisticated sensors throughout the garden detect the subtle shifts in your breathing patterns that signal the beginning of lighter sleep phases. The response is immediate yet imperceptible, a choreographed awakening sequence that honors your body's natural rhythms, while supporting the most refreshing emergence into consciousness imaginable. The lighting transformation begins so gradually that it seems more like a dream than reality. Individual fixtures scattered throughout the garden start their slow shift from the warm amber tones that supported your sleep toward the cooler blue wavelengths that naturally encourage alertness. This isn't the harsh transition of electric switches, but a gentle mimicry of natural dawn that unfolds over 90 minutes. Your circadian rhythms, so perfectly supported throughout the night, receive exactly the photons they need to signal the approaching day while never shocking your system into uncomfortable wakefulness. The botanical orchestra around you begins its own morning symphony as different plants respond to the changing light conditions. Night-blooming species gradually close their petals in a slow, graceful dance, while day-flowering plants begin their own awakening process. The transition is seamless, one beautiful fragrance giving way to another in nature's own aromatherapy sequence. Morning glory vines begin their daily unfurling, adding fresh, clean scents to the air. Jasmine releases its final evening perfume as roses prepare to share their morning fragrance with the warming air. Your body, having spent hours in the most perfectly regulated environment imaginable, begins its own gentle return to wakefulness. The temperature-controlled surfaces beneath you maintain their ideal warmth, preventing any shocking contact with cold materials that might jar you from peaceful sleep. The organic fibers surrounding you continue their supportive work, breathing with your body as you transition from deep rest to gentle awareness. Every material has been chosen to make this awakening as comfortable as the sleep itself. The water features throughout the garden shift their patterns to welcome the approaching day. What provided such soothing nighttime sounds now begins to sparkle with the first hints of dawn light. The main fountain adjusts its jets to create more dynamic displays, while smaller streams begin to catch and reflect the gentle illumination that's slowly building throughout the space. The sound remains therapeutic, but now it carries notes of energy and renewal that complement your body's natural awakening process. The air quality reaches its daily pinnacle during these precious pre-dawn hours. The night's plant activity has maximized oxygen production, while the cool temperature has minimized any atmospheric disturbances. Your first conscious breaths are filled with air so pure and oxygen-rich that it feels almost effervescent against your lungs. The sensation is like drinking mountain spring water with every inhalation, refreshing and energizing in ways that processed indoor air can never replicate. The garden's wildlife begins its own gentle morning routine, adding life and movement to the awakening landscape. Beneficial birds that roosted quietly through the night begin their soft morning songs, starting with the most melodious species and gradually building into a natural chorus that welcomes rather than startles. Butterflies begin their daily dance among the flowers, their gentle movement creating points of color and life that enhance the visual beauty surrounding your awakening consciousness. Different areas of the garden reveal their unique morning personalities as natural light continues to build. The meditation grove becomes a cathedral of golden light, filtering through bamboo and carefully positioned trees. The sensory garden sparkles with dew that intensifies the fragrances of herbs and tactile plants. Each section offers its own version of morning magic, ensuring that every moment of your awakening experience provides something beautiful to discover and appreciate. Your skin, having benefited from hours of perfect humidity and temperature regulation, feels renewed and refreshed in ways you may have forgotten were possible. The natural fibers that surrounded you through the night have prevented any uncomfortable moisture buildup while maintaining optimal air circulation. The result is skin that feels clean, comfortable, and alive with health. The absence of synthetic materials and artificial environments allows your body's largest organ to function exactly as nature intended. The breakfast preparation area, hidden throughout the night, but now discreetly accessible, begins its own awakening routine. Fresh herbs from the garden's culinary sections are harvested at their peak potency. Fruits from the property's own trees are selected at perfect ripeness. Even the water for tea or coffee is filtered through natural systems that enhance rather than strip away beneficial minerals. Every element of your morning nourishment is designed to complement and extend the restoration you've received through perfect sleep. The garden's thermal dynamics create the most comfortable possible environment for your transition from rest to activity. Stone pathways that absorb the previous day's warmth now release it gradually, creating gentle heating that keeps surfaces comfortable for bare feet. Water features provide natural air conditioning as the day begins to warm. The sophisticated climate control systems adjust automatically to maintain perfect comfort zones throughout your awakening routine. Your nervous system, reset by hours of truly restorative sleep, responds to the morning environment with sensitivity and appreciation that may surprise you. Colors appear more vivid and beautiful than you remember. Fragrances seem more distinct and pleasing. The textures of natural materials feel more engaging and comforting. It's as if your senses have been cleaned and calibrated during the night, returning to levels of acuity that modern life often dulls. The psychological benefits of awakening in such extraordinary surroundings extend far beyond the immediate pleasure of beauty and comfort. Your mind, having processed experiences and emotions during optimal sleep conditions, emerges clear and peaceful. The stresses and artificial urgencies that drive so much of modern life seem distant and manageable. Your perspective on daily challenges shifts towards solutions and possibilities rather than problems and obstacles. The exercise areas integrated throughout the garden provide perfect opportunities for gentle movement that complements your refreshed state. These aren't conventional workout spaces, but thoughtfully designed areas where stretching, yoga, or simple walking can be practiced surrounded by inspiring beauty. The surfaces provide natural shock absorption, while views and air quality remain optimal for deeper breathing and mindful movement. The garden's educational aspects become more apparent in the gentle morning light, though they remain completely optional and non-intrusive. Small, elegantly designed markers provide information about specific plants and their contributions to the sleep environment, but only for those who seek such knowledge. You might discover that the particular tree filtering morning sunlight above you produces compounds that naturally purify the surrounding air, or that the flowers beginning to bloom nearby were selected specifically for their ability to support morning energy and alertness. The seasonal variations in this morning experience ensure that each visit offers something new and wonderful to discover. Spring mornings might feature the delicate unfurling of new leaves and the fresh fragrances of emerging bulbs. Summer brings the full glory of morning blooming flowers and the cooling influence of mature shade trees. Autumn offers the warm colours of changing leaves and the crisp clarity of cooler air. Even winter mornings reveal their own beauty, with frost creating temporary art on evergreen branches and the architectural bones of the garden's design standing in stark, beautiful relief. The technology integration throughout the space becomes more visible in daylight, though it remains elegantly concealed and never intrusive. Solar collection panels disguised as artistic elements begin their daily energy gathering. Weather monitoring systems built into sculptural features start their data collection routines. Irrigation systems emerge briefly to provide exactly the right amount of water to each plant based on species needs and current conditions, then disappear back into the landscape architecture. Your connection to natural rhythms, so carefully nurtured throughout the night, continues to develop as you move through the morning garden. The artificial time pressures that characterize modern life seem less compelling when you've experienced the gentle, sustainable rhythms that this environment promotes. Your internal clock, realigned with natural patterns, suggests energy expenditure and rest periods that feel authentic and healthy rather than forced or artificial. The maintenance systems that keep this garden in perfect condition operate with remarkable discretion even during daylight hours. Skilled gardeners appear briefly to tend specific plants or adjust particular systems, then fade back into the landscape without disturbing the peaceful atmosphere. The work is constant but nearly invisible, ensuring that every element remains at peak beauty and function, while never intruding on the tranquil environment they're preserving. Your breathing naturally continues the deep rhythmic patterns established during perfect sleep, now enhanced by air that's even more oxygen-rich as plants begin their daytime photosynthesis. The sensation of breathing in this environment is almost intoxicating in its purity and vitality. Each inhalation provides not just oxygen, but trace compounds from surrounding plants that support alertness, mental clarity, and physical energy in completely natural ways. The water features reveal new aspects of their sophisticated design as morning light illuminates their construction and flow patterns. What appeared as simple beauty in moonlight now shows itself as carefully engineered systems that provide multiple benefits simultaneously. Sound therapy, air purification, humidity control, and visual beauty all emerge from features that seem effortlessly natural but represent the pinnacle of environmental design expertise. The garden's influence on your daily energy patterns becomes apparent as you spend more time in the morning environment. Instead of the artificial caffeine spikes and crashes that characterize modern energy management, your vitality feels steady and sustainable. The perfect sleep foundation, combined with optimal air quality and natural light exposure, creates energy levels that feel both powerful and peaceful, dynamic yet centered. Different seating and gathering areas throughout the garden invite various morning activities, each positioned to take advantage of specific light conditions and views. You might choose the elevated pavilion for panoramic views of the entire garden and surrounding landscape. Or perhaps the intimate grove appeals more, where filtered sunlight creates shifting patterns of gold and green that change gently as the earth turns. Each location offers its own version of morning magic. The garden's contribution to mental clarity and cognitive function becomes increasingly apparent as you spend time in this optimal environment. The absence of electromagnetic interference allows your nervous system to operate without the constant low-level disruption that characterizes most modern settings. Your thoughts feel clearer and more organized. Creative insights seem to emerge naturally. Problem-solving abilities feel enhanced and effortless. The social aspects of the garden space reveal themselves as morning progresses, designed to accommodate both solitary reflection and shared experiences. Conversation areas positioned to catch gentle morning sun invite quiet discussion over breakfast. The acoustics have been planned so that voices carry pleasantly without disturbing the overall tranquility. Multiple activity zones allow groups to enjoy the garden together while maintaining individual comfort and space for personal reflection. Your digestive system, having rested and restored itself during perfect sleep conditions, now operates with optimal efficiency. The pure air ensures that breathing doesn't compete with digestion for the body's resources. The stress-free environment allows digestive processes to function naturally and completely. Even the timing of your natural hunger signals feels more authentic and appropriate than the artificial eating schedules that modern life often imposes. The garden's impact on your immune system continues to manifest as you spend more time in this perfectly controlled environment. The absence of air pollutants reduces inflammatory responses throughout your body. The optimal humidity maintains natural respiratory barriers while preventing the dryness that can compromise immune function. The stress-free atmosphere allows immune cells to focus on maintenance and surveillance rather than managing environmental challenges. The acoustic environment continues to evolve as morning progresses, with different bird species adding their voices to the growing chorus of awakening life. The sounds remain therapeutic and pleasant, carefully cultivated rather than left to chance. Water features adjust their flow patterns to provide refreshing audio that complements rather than competes with natural bird songs and gentle breezes moving through thoughtfully positioned plants. Your hormonal balance, optimized during the night's perfect sleep, continues to benefit from the garden's ideal conditions. Cortisol levels rise naturally and appropriately to support healthy alertness without the spike and crash patterns that characterize stress responses. Neurotransmitter production remains balanced and stable. Even reproductive hormones benefit from the absence of environmental stresses and the presence of natural beauty and tranquility. The garden's thermal regulation systems adapt seamlessly to changing conditions as morning progresses toward midday. Cooling systems engage gradually as temperatures rise, while heating elements reduce their output in response to increasing solar warmth. The transitions are so smooth and natural that you remain comfortable without ever being aware of the sophisticated technology, maintaining optimal conditions throughout the space. The botanical diversity surrounding you creates an ever-changing tapestry of sensory experiences as different plants respond to the advancing day. Morning blooming species reach their peak beauty and fragrance. Day-active beneficial insects begin their important pollination work. Even the visual composition shifts as shadows move and light angles change, creating new focal points and perspectives throughout the garden landscape. Your cardiovascular system continues to benefit from the optimal conditions, with blood pressure remaining at healthy levels and circulation operating efficiently throughout your body. The pure oxygen-rich air supports optimal blood chemistry. The temperature regulation prevents the cardiovascular stress that can occur when the body must work to maintain comfortable temperatures. Even your heart rate variability improves in this perfectly balanced environment. The garden's integration of cutting-edge technology with timeless natural principles becomes more apparent as you observe the seamless operation of countless systems working in harmony. Sensors monitor soil conditions to ensure optimal plant health, while remaining completely invisible. Weather prediction systems anticipate changes and adjust garden systems accordingly. Lighting controls support both plant growth and human circadian rhythms. Every technological element serves the greater goal of creating perfect conditions for rest, restoration, and renewal. Your relationship with the natural world deepens through extended time in this extraordinary environment. The careful plant selections, the thoughtful design, the seamless integration of technology and nature all combine to create understanding of how profoundly environment affects human well-being. You begin to appreciate the subtle ways that different plants, water features, and design elements contribute to your overall sense of peace and vitality. The garden's influence on your cellular regeneration processes continues throughout your waking hours. The pure air and optimal conditions allow your body to maintain the repair and renewal processes that began during perfect sleep. Skin cells continue their healthy regeneration cycles. Muscle tissue maintains optimal recovery states. Even bone density benefits from the stress-free environment and natural movement opportunities the garden provides. The morning transition toward full daylight represents the completion of a perfect cycle, from evening preparation through optimal sleep to refreshing awakening. Every element of this nearly $2 million investment has contributed to an experience that transcends simple luxury to become something approaching the sacred. You've experienced what rest can be when it's supported by unlimited knowledge, resources, and care, when every detail serves the single purpose of supporting human flourishing in harmony with the natural world. Your departure from this extraordinary sanctuary carries with it profound appreciation for what thoughtful design can accomplish when human well-being is the primary goal. The memory of sleeping in such perfection becomes a reference point for understanding true quality of life, not measured in possessions or status, but in the deep satisfaction that comes from living in harmony with natural rhythms and optimal environmental conditions. The ripple effects of experiencing such perfect rest and restoration extend into every aspect of daily life long after you've left the garden. Energy levels remain more stable throughout subsequent days. Emotional regulation improves significantly. Cognitive function operates at enhanced levels. Even relationships benefit from the emotional stability and presence that comes with truly restorative sleep, and the peace that such experiences bring to the human spirit. The garden stands as more than just an expensive luxury or impressive display of horticultural expertise. It represents a vision of what human environments can become when we fully understand and apply knowledge about the relationship between surroundings and well-being. Every plant, every stone, every carefully controlled system demonstrates that technology and nature can work together beautifully to support the highest levels of human health and happiness. The seasonal cycles that govern this remarkable space ensure that each visit throughout the year offers its own unique gifts and experiences. The spring awakening of bulbs and flowering trees, the summer glory of tropical blooms and cooling water features, the autumn transformation with warm colors and crisp air, the winter beauty of architectural plants and cozy heated spaces, all contribute to a garden that remains perfectly supportive of human rest and restoration, regardless of external conditions. Your understanding of what constitutes true luxury evolves through experiencing this space. It's not about having the most expensive materials or the rarest plants, though this garden certainly features both. True luxury lies in the seamless integration of countless elements working together to support human flourishing. It's about creating conditions where your body and mind can function exactly as nature intended, supported by the best of human knowledge and craftsmanship applied with unlimited care and attention. The investment in creating such perfect conditions pays dividends that extend far beyond the immediate experience of sleeping in beautiful surroundings. The deep restoration achieved here influences every subsequent day, every interaction, every challenge faced with renewed energy and clarity. The garden becomes not just a place of rest, but a source of vitality that continues giving long after the immediate experience has ended. A reminder of what becomes possible when we align our environments with our deepest needs for peace, beauty, and restoration. And the nearly $2 million garden reveals its true value not in its impressive price tag, but in its ability to demonstrate what becomes possible when human creativity, natural wisdom, and unlimited resources combine with the single goal of supporting perfect rest. It stands as proof that the simple act of sleeping can be elevated to something approaching the divine when surrounded by such thoughtful care, attention, and love for human well-being expressed through the most beautiful and sophisticated environmental design imaginable. The profound intimacy of experiencing such extraordinary care extends beyond the physical realm into something that touches the very essence of what it means to be human. As you settle deeper into this remarkable environment, you begin to understand that the nearly $2 million investment represents something far more valuable than money could ever measure. It's an investment in the belief that every human being deserves to experience perfect peace, complete restoration, and the gentle embrace of an environment designed with absolute love and attention to their well-being. Your consciousness, now fully attuned to the garden's rhythm, begins to perceive subtleties that escaped notice during your initial exploration. The way morning light filters through leaves creates patterns that seem to pulse gently with your heartbeat. The fragrance of blooming flowers shifts throughout the day in harmonious waves that complement your body's natural energy cycles. Even the texture of surfaces beneath your feet seems to respond to your presence, providing exactly the right amount of support and cushioning for each step. The garden's designers understood something profound about human nature that many environmental planners overlook. We don't just need beauty around us. We need to feel cherished by our surroundings. Every element in this space whispers the same message. You matter, your comfort matters, your peace matters, your restoration matters. The plants lean toward you as if drawn by your presence. The water features seem to sing more sweetly when you're near. The lighting adjusts not just to optimal specifications, but with what feels like intuitive understanding of your personal preferences. As you move through different sections of the garden, you discover that each area has been designed to support different aspects of human flourishing. The contemplation grove invites deep thinking and creative insights, with seating positioned to catch gentle breezes and views that inspire without overwhelming. The movement spaces encourage physical activity that feels joyful rather than obligatory, with surfaces that cushion each step and air that energizes every breath. The quiet zones provide sanctuary for those moments when the soul needs absolute stillness and peace. The seasonal intelligence of this remarkable space reveals new layers of thoughtfulness as you spend more time here. Spring brings not just beautiful flowers, but plants specifically chosen to support the emotional renewal that comes with longer days and warmer weather. Summer features cooling elements that create comfort without artificial harshness, maintaining perfect conditions for rest even during the warmest months. Autumn offers visual warmth through plant colors that complement the psychological comfort needed as daylight hours shorten. Winter transforms the space into a cozy sanctuary where evergreen scents and gentle heating create feelings of security and peace. Your relationship with time itself begins to shift as you experience the garden's natural rhythms. The artificial urgency that drives so much of modern life fades into irrelevance when surrounded by an environment that operates according to deeper, more authentic patterns. Plants unfold their leaves according to ancient timing. Water flows at rates determined by physics and beauty rather than efficiency demands. Light changes follow celestial movements that connect you to something infinitely larger than daily concerns and schedules. The garden's influence on your creative faculties becomes increasingly apparent as you spend more time in this nurturing environment. Ideas seem to arise more freely when your mind isn't occupied with filtering out environmental stressors. Artistic insights emerge naturally when your nervous system is allowed to operate in perfect balance. Problem-solving abilities feel enhanced and effortless when your brain receives optimal oxygen and operates in conditions designed to support rather than challenge its natural functions. Different gathering spaces throughout the garden accommodate various social needs while maintaining the essential character of peace and restoration. Intimate conversation nooks encourage deep sharing between close friends or family members. Larger gathering areas welcome groups while ensuring that voices blend harmoniously with natural sounds rather than competing against them. Even solitary spaces feel warm and welcoming, designed to support personal reflection without any sense of isolation or loneliness. The water features throughout the space reveal new aspects of their sophisticated design as you observe them through different times of day and changing seasons. Morning light transforms fountains into prisms that cast rainbow patterns across surrounding plants. Afternoon sun creates dancing shadows that shift gently as breezes move the water's surface. Evening illumination turns the same features into ethereal sculptures that seem to glow with inner light. Each transformation adds another layer to the sensory richness of the environment. Your appreciation for the garden's botanical diversity deepens as you begin to understand the careful thought behind each plant selection. Species have been chosen not just for their individual beauty, but for how they interact with their neighbors to create harmonious communities. Tall trees provide structure and shade while allowing filtered light to reach understory plants. Ground covers create living carpets that feel wonderful beneath bare feet while contributing to the overall air purification system. Flowering plants are arranged in sequences that ensure something beautiful is always blooming, creating year-round visual interest and fragrance. The garden's contribution to your overall sense of life satisfaction extends far beyond the immediate pleasure of beautiful surroundings. The deep peace achieved in such perfect conditions influences your perspective on everything else in life. Challenges seem more manageable when you've experienced what true restoration feels like. Relationships improve when you approach them from a place of genuine well-being rather than stress and depletion. Even work becomes more fulfilling when you have access to the kind of renewal that this environment provides. The acoustic design of the space reveals new layers of sophistication as you become more sensitive to subtle sound variations. Different areas feature slightly different audio experiences, all designed to support relaxation and well-being. The meditation areas emphasize gentle, rhythmic sounds that encourage deeper states of consciousness. Active spaces feature more dynamic audio that energizes without overwhelming. Conversation areas are acoustically designed so that voices carry pleasantly while maintaining overall tranquility. Your body's natural healing processes continue to benefit from the garden's optimal conditions throughout extended stays. The pure air supports cellular regeneration at levels that would astound medical researchers. The stress-free environment allows immune systems to focus on maintenance and improvement rather than managing environmental challenges. The perfect temperature and humidity regulation ensures that all physiological processes can operate at peak efficiency without expending energy on basic comfort maintenance. The garden's integration of technology with natural systems becomes more impressive as you understand the complexity of what appears effortlessly simple. Hundreds of sensors monitor conditions throughout the space, making thousands of micro-adjustments daily to maintain perfect environments. Weather prediction systems anticipate changes hours or even days in advance, preparing the garden to provide optimal conditions regardless of external circumstances. Irrigation systems deliver precisely measured amounts of water based on individual plant needs, soil conditions, and weather forecasts. The lighting throughout the space represents perhaps the most sophisticated aspect of the entire system, with hundreds of individually controlled fixtures responding to natural light conditions, seasonal changes, and human circadian rhythm needs. The integration is so seamless that the artificial illumination feels completely natural, enhancing rather than replacing the beauty of natural light cycles. Evening transitions happen so gradually that you barely notice the shift from daylight to gentle artificial illumination. Your sleep quality in this environment reaches levels that redefine what rest can be when properly supported. The combination of perfect air quality, optimal temperature regulation, supportive surfaces, and complete absence of environmental stressors allows your body to achieve sleep states that are both deeper and more restorative than anything possible in typical modern environments. Dreams become more vivid and meaningful. Morning awakening feels genuinely refreshing rather than merely necessary. The garden's influence on your emotional well-being creates positive changes that continue long after you've left the space. The deep peace experienced here becomes a reference point for managing stress and anxiety in daily life. The beauty and tranquility create memories that can be recalled to provide comfort during challenging times. The sense of being completely cared for by an environment builds confidence and trust that extends into other relationships and situations. Different exercise opportunities throughout the garden support physical health, while maintaining the essential character of peace and restoration. Walking paths provide gentle cardiovascular activity surrounded by inspiring beauty. Yoga and stretching areas offer perfect surfaces and views for mindful movement. Even more vigorous activities feel joyful, rather than strenuous when practiced in air this pure and surroundings this beautiful. The educational aspects of the garden remain completely optional and non-intrusive, available for those who wish to learn while never disrupting the primary experience of peace and restoration. You might discover fascinating information about how different plants support air purification, or learn about the principles behind the sophisticated climate control systems. The knowledge enriches the experience for those who seek it, while remaining invisible to visitors who prefer to simply enjoy the beauty and tranquility. The garden's seasonal transformations ensure that each visit throughout the year offers unique gifts and discoveries. Spring brings the excitement of new growth and emerging colours. Summer offers the full glory of mature plantings and maximum fragrance intensity. Autumn provides the warm satisfaction of harvest time and preparation for rest. Winter reveals the architectural beauty of the garden structure while providing cozy comfort during cold months. Each season feels perfect for rest and restoration in its own special way. Your understanding of luxury itself evolves through experiencing this extraordinary environment. True luxury isn't about expensive materials or impressive displays, though this garden certainly features both. Real luxury lies in the complete alignment of environment with human needs. The seamless support of well-being at every level. The feeling of being cherished and cared for by your surroundings. It's about creating conditions where your body and mind can flourish without effort or struggle. The garden's contribution to mental clarity and cognitive function becomes increasingly apparent during extended stays. Thoughts feel clearer and more organized when your brain operates in optimal conditions. Creative insights emerge more freely when your nervous system isn't managing environmental stresses. Decision-making feels more intuitive and confident when you're fully rested and restored. Even memory function improves in this perfect environment. The social dynamics of sharing this space with others reveal new dimensions of the garden's thoughtful design. Conversation flows more naturally when everyone feels completely comfortable and at peace. Relationships deepen when people can interact without the subtle tensions that environmental stresses create. Even silence feels companionable rather than awkward when shared in surroundings this beautiful and nurturing. The garden's influence on your appreciation for natural beauty extends far beyond the immediate environment. Colors seem more vivid and meaningful after your eyes have adjusted to the pure air and optimal lighting conditions here. Fragrances become more distinct and appealing when your respiratory system operates without the constant challenge of filtering pollutants. Even textures feel more interesting and pleasant when your skin isn't managing the stress of artificial environments. Your connection to seasonal rhythms strengthens through experiencing the garden's natural cycles. Spring feels more hopeful and energizing when you've witnessed the careful emergence of new growth in this protected environment. Summer seems more abundant and joyful when you've experienced its full glory in optimal conditions. Autumn brings deeper satisfaction when you've observed the beautiful preparation for winter rest. Even winter feels more peaceful and restorative when experienced in perfectly heated comfort, surrounded by evergreen beauty. The garden's impact on your daily energy patterns creates lasting improvements in how you approach work and rest. Energy feels more sustainable and renewable when it's built on a foundation of truly restorative sleep and peaceful surroundings. Activity feels more joyful and less effortful when your body operates in peak condition. Rest feels more satisfying and complete when you understand what perfect relaxation can be. The thermal comfort throughout the space represents engineering excellence applied to human well-being. Every surface maintains perfect temperature for skin contact. Air circulation provides gentle cooling without uncomfortable drafts. Radiant heating systems warm spaces evenly without creating hot spots or energy waste. The result is an environment where your body never expends energy on temperature regulation, allowing all resources to focus on restoration and renewal. Your respiratory system benefits enormously from the garden's pure air and optimal humidity levels. Breathing feels effortless and energizing rather than merely functional. The oxygen-rich atmosphere supports enhanced physical and mental performance. The absence of pollutants allows your lungs to focus on their primary job rather than filtering out harmful substances. Many visitors report improved breathing capacity that continues long after leaving the garden. The garden's contribution to stress reduction creates positive changes that ripple through every aspect of life. The complete absence of environmental stressors allows your nervous system to reset to its natural, balanced state. Stress hormones drop to healthy levels and remain stable. Sleep quality improves dramatically. Even immune function benefits when your body isn't constantly managing environmental challenges. Different areas of the garden support various activities while maintaining the essential character of peace and restoration. Reading nooks provide perfect lighting and comfortable seating, surrounded by inspiring views. Meditation spaces offer the right combination of privacy and openness to support deep spiritual practice. Creative areas inspire artistic expression while providing all the comfort and beauty needed for sustained focus. The garden's influence on your sense of time and priorities helps clarify what truly matters in life. The artificial urgencies that drive so much of modern living fade into perspective when you've experienced the gentle, sustainable rhythms of this natural environment. Important relationships receive more attention. Meaningful activities take precedence over mere busy work. Life feels more intentional and satisfying when guided by the wisdom this peaceful environment provides. The water management systems throughout the garden demonstrate how technology can enhance rather than replace natural processes. Rainwater collection systems capture and store precipitation for later use. Filtration systems purify water without harsh chemicals. Circulation systems maintain water quality while providing the therapeutic sounds that support relaxation and restoration. Every aspect serves multiple purposes while remaining completely harmonious with the natural environment. Your appreciation for craftsmanship and attention to detail deepens as you observe the countless elements that work together to create this perfect environment. Every stone has been selected and placed with care. Each plant represents careful research and thoughtful positioning. All materials have been chosen for their contribution to human comfort and well-being. The result is an environment that feels both natural and refined, effortless yet sophisticated. The garden's seasonal fragrances create an aromatherapy experience that changes throughout the year while always supporting relaxation and well-being. Spring brings the fresh, clean scents of new growth and early flowers. Summer offers rich, complex fragrances from tropical blooms and herb gardens. Autumn provides warm, earthy scents that comfort and ground the spirit. Winter features evergreen aromas that create feelings of peace and security. Your body's natural detoxification processes benefit enormously from the garden's pure environment and optimal conditions. The lymphatic system operates more efficiently when supported by gentle movement and proper positioning. Liver function improves when not challenged by environmental toxins. Even skin elimination processes work better in the perfect humidity and air circulation of this space. The result is natural cleansing and renewal that leaves you feeling refreshed and revitalized. The garden's contribution to cardiovascular health extends far beyond the immediate benefits of reduced stress and optimal air quality. Heart rate variability improves in this peaceful environment, indicating better autonomic nervous system balance. Blood pressure naturally decreases when environmental stresses are removed. Circulation improves when the body doesn't have to work to maintain comfortable temperatures. Even heart rhythm becomes more coherent and stable. The acoustic environment continues to reveal new layers of therapeutic benefit as you spend more time in this carefully designed space. Sound frequencies have been optimized to promote relaxation and healing. Natural sounds are enhanced while unwanted noise is minimized. The result is an audio environment that actively supports well-being rather than merely avoiding distraction. Many visitors report that even their hearing seems more acute after spending time in this pure acoustic environment. The garden represents the ultimate expression of environmental design, focused entirely on human flourishing. Every decision, from the largest architectural elements to the smallest decorative details, has been made with the single goal of supporting your complete well-being. The nearly $2 million investment reflects not just the cost of materials and labor, but the value of creating a space where humans can experience perfect rest, complete restoration, and absolute peace in harmony with the natural world. Your experience of sleeping in this extraordinary environment becomes a treasured memory that influences your understanding of what life can be when supported by unlimited care and attention. The deep peace, perfect comfort, and complete restoration achieved here serve as a reference point for making decisions about how to live and what to prioritize. The garden teaches that true luxury lies not in possession or display, but in creating conditions that allow the human spirit to flourish in perfect harmony with the beauty and wisdom of the natural world. As the final hours of your time in this extraordinary sanctuary unfold, you begin to understand that what you've experienced transcends any simple definition of luxury or comfort. The nearly $2 million investment has created something that touches the deepest parts of human consciousness. A space where every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of rest has been supported by an environment designed with profound love and understanding of what it means to truly flourish. The morning preparations for departure feel different from any checkout experience you've ever known. There's no harsh transition, no sudden shift from paradise to reality. Instead, the garden itself seems to prepare you gently for your return to the outside world, like a caring friend, ensuring you're ready for whatever lies ahead. The lighting gradually adjusts to match external conditions, helping your circadian rhythms maintain their newfound balance. The fragrances in the air shift subtly toward more energizing scents that will support your transition while still carrying the peaceful essence that has restored you so completely. Your final moments in the sleeping pavilion reveal the true genius of this remarkable design. As you slowly gather yourself from the most restful night imaginable, every surface continues to provide perfect support. The temperature-regulating materials maintain their ideal warmth, ensuring that even your last moments here feel as comfortable as your first. The organic fibers surrounding you seem to release their gentle embrace reluctantly, as if they too have grown attached to providing you with such perfect care and comfort. The garden's farewell gift comes in the form of one last sensory symphony, a final orchestration of all the elements that have made your stay so extraordinary. The water features adjust their flow to create a gentle crescendo of therapeutic sound. The morning blooming flowers release their most beautiful fragrances in waves that seem timed to your movements through the space. Even the beneficial wildlife seems to gather for a final performance, with birds offering their sweetest songs and butterflies dancing among the blooms in patterns that feel almost choreographed. As you walk the pathways one last time, you notice details that somehow escaped your attention during your stay, small touches that speak to the incredible depth of thought and care invested in every aspect of this environment. A particular stone positioned to catch morning light in just the right way to create a moment of unexpected beauty. A plant placed precisely where its fragrance will provide one final gift as you pass. Water droplets on leaves arranged by nature and enhanced by the garden's misting systems to create tiny prisms that scatter rainbow light across your path. The departure ritual, if it can be called that, feels more like a blessing than a goodbye. The garden systems begin their transition to prepare for the next visitor, but the changes happen so gradually and naturally that they enhance rather than diminish your final experience. The lighting continues its gentle adjustment toward daytime spectrums, but in a way that makes the morning feel more golden and beautiful rather than harsh or artificial. The temperature regulation systems maintain perfect comfort while beginning their subtle shift toward conditions that will be optimal for the next guest. Your understanding of what constitutes true hospitality has been forever changed by this experience. This isn't service in any conventional sense, but something approaching genuine care and affection expressed through environmental design. Every element of the garden has worked tirelessly to ensure your complete comfort and restoration, not because it was programmed to do so, but because it was designed by people who truly understood and valued human well-being above all other considerations. The memory of your time here begins to take on an almost dreamlike quality, not because it wasn't real, but because it was more real than most experiences we encounter in modern life. The complete alignment of environment with human needs, the seamless support of every physiological and psychological function, the gentle embrace of perfect conditions, all combine to create recollections that feel almost too beautiful to be true, yet undeniably authentic and transformative. The ripple effects of this experience will extend far into your future, influencing everything from how you approach daily rest to how you understand the relationship between environment and well-being. The deep restoration achieved here provides a foundation of peace and vitality that will support you through countless challenges and opportunities. The memory of perfect sleep becomes a reference point for understanding what your body and mind need to function optimally. As you take your final steps along the garden's pathways, you carry with you more than just memories of beauty and comfort. You take with you a new understanding of what becomes possible when human creativity, natural wisdom, and unlimited care combine in service of something greater than mere luxury or display. The nearly $2 million garden has revealed its true value. Not in its impressive price tag, but in its ability to demonstrate what environments can become when they're designed with genuine love for human flourishing. Your departure feels less like an ending and more like a beginning, the start of a new chapter informed by the profound peace and restoration you've experienced. The garden has given you not just a perfect night's sleep, but a vision of what life can be when we align our surroundings with our deepest needs for beauty, tranquility, and connection to the natural world. This extraordinary sanctuary stands as proof that when we invest in environments that truly support human well-being, the returns are measured not in dollars, but in the immeasurable currency of peace, restoration, and joy. The gentle morning breeze carries with it one final gift from this remarkable space, a subtle fragrance that seems to whisper a promise that the peace you found here will remain with you, a treasured companion on whatever journeys lie ahead. And as you step beyond the garden's boundaries, you understand that while you're leaving this physical paradise behind, you carry within you something even more valuable: the memory of what perfect rest can be, and the knowledge that such experiences are possible when we dare to dream of environments designed with complete devotion to human flourishing and happiness. The nearly $2 million garden has accomplished something that no amount of money can typically buy. It has provided not just luxury or comfort, but genuine transformation, a reset of your entire relationship with rest, peace, and the natural world. In a time when true tranquility seems increasingly rare and precious, this sanctuary stands as a reminder that when we invest in what truly matters, when we prioritize human well-being above all else, we create something that transcends monetary value to become genuinely priceless. Your experience of falling asleep in this extraordinary garden will remain with you always, a perfect jewel of memory that catches light in your consciousness whenever you need reminding of what peace feels like, what true comfort means, and what becomes possible when environments are designed with absolute love and care for the human spirit. Sweet dreams, and may your rest always be as peaceful as that magical night among the flowers, under the stars, wrapped in the gentle embrace of nature's most perfect lullaby.